Jungkook cleared his throat roughly. He was now sitting in front of his father and mother. What's hindering you from finding a wife? All your cousins are married. So what are you waiting for? We can't wait to see you married. That's right. We don't know how long we'll live, but before we die, we want to see you get married, son. Jungkook sighed softly. Why were his parents so eager to see him married? But when it comes to age, there might be some truth to it. No one knows how much time they have left. This time, Jungkook was determined to make his parents happy as soon as possible. However, the problem was he didn't have a partner yet. Maybe he would figure out a way later, even though he didn't really want to get married now. But because he was continuously pressured by his parents, there was no way to avoid it. Alright, mom, dad, I will soon find a partner and get married. Jungkook's parents then exchanged glances, sharing smiles because their son finally agreed to get married. Jungkook, he wasn't an old man. He was only 28 years old, a CEO of Jeon Corp. In theory, a man like Jungkook should find it very easy to find a woman. He was a mature and handsome man, and it seemed like most women would be attracted to him and readily offer themselves to be married. However, Jungkook wasn't interested in getting into a relationship due to his demanding job, but his parents continued to nag him about when he would get married, to the extent that they would often come to his office and pester him. Now, Jungkook is driving on the streets of Seoul while holding back his headache. Where should he find a woman willing to be married immediately? Then, he passes over a bridge. On the side of the bridge, there's a woman standing by the railing, leaning her body towards the river below. Damn, what's wrong with that woman? Jungkook immediately pulls over his car, then gets out, jumps from his car, and runs towards the woman who seems to want to commit suicide. Hey, stop, don't jump, are you crazy, huh? Jungkook yells as he arrives, pulling the woman by her waist, causing her to now sit on the sidewalk. Are you crazy, huh? Where's your brain? Are you insane? Jungkook shouts in front of the sweet-looking woman who is now raising one eyebrow. The woman stands up, then folds her hands in front of her chest, giving a lazy look to the furious Jungkook. Are you done being angry? Jungkook is stunned and falls silent. Could you figure out the issue first before going crazy like a mad person? Huh? I stretched my body over the bridge railing not to commit suicide but to retrieve my beloved necklace from my deceased mother. I can't live without that necklace. Instead of getting angry, can you just fetch my necklace? Jungkook raises an eyebrow. Then he gets an idea. I'm willing to get your necklace, but there's a condition. What? You have to agree to a 1-year contract marriage with me. I'm being pressured to get married by my family. Are you wealthy? Are you willing to fulfill all my needs? Hearing that question, Jungkook immediately reaches into his coat, then takes out a business card and hands it to the woman. The woman takes the card right away, reading his name and position. Her eyes widen when she sees the name of the company Jungkook leads. Let's get married. Luckily, I've also been pressured to get married by my father. Jungkook then extends his hand, and it's welcomed by the woman. Deal. What's your name? Park Yin. Alright, Park Yin. Let's exchange numbers. Yin gasps as she looks out of her bedroom window and sees a luxurious car parked in front of her house. Last night, Jungkook called her, asking for her home address. He mentioned that he wanted to pick her up and introduce her to his family. Early in the morning, Yin wakes up to get ready, wanting to look as beautiful as possible. She doesn't want to appear unkempt in front of a conglomerate family. Since both are forced into this marriage by their families, they'll mutually benefit. So Yin is okay with this contractual union. Oh, by the way, last night Jungkook also sent her a document outlining what Yin is allowed and not allowed to do. He asked Yin to fill in the document with what is acceptable and not acceptable for him as well. The terms of their contract are as follows. Permissible and impermissible actions for Yin. 1. Cannot tarnish her own reputation or Jungkook's. 2. Forbidden to date other men. 3. Allowed to request any desired items. 4. Permitted to reject any actions from Jungkook that make Park Yin uncomfortable. Permissible and impermissible actions for Jungkook. 1. Prohibited from smoking in front of Park Yin. 2. Must not tarnish Yin's or his own reputation. 3. Allowed to do whatever Jungkook wishes as long as it does not violate the contract. 4. Permitted to refuse any actions from Park Yin that make Jungkook uncomfortable. That's the content of their contract, which is valid for 1 year. After 1 year, they mutually agree to divorce and lead their separate lives. In front of Yin's house, Jungkook rolled down the car window, casting an indifferent glance at her. Neither Jungkook nor Yin was interested in each other. Come on, get in quickly. Yin nodded and promptly entered the luxurious car. A few moments later, they had arrived at Jungkook's house. Jungkook immediately opened the door, and when it swung open, his parents were already sitting comfortably on the sofa. The eyes of both of Jungkook's parents lit up when they saw Yin standing shyly next to Jungkook. Wow, Jungkook, quickly, ask her to come in and sit here. Jungkook rolled his eyes lazily, then took Yin's hand and pulled her to walk towards his parents and sit there. Now, Jungkook and Yin sat side by side in front of his parents. Mom, Dad, let me introduce her. She's Park Yin, my girlfriend. Yin immediately put on a smile. Hello, I'm Park Yin. His mother immediately smiled broadly, a clear glow of happiness in her eyes. Wow, Yin, you look so beautiful. Indeed, you two really look perfect together. By the way, Yin, may we know where you're from and what do you do for a living? I've been here in Seoul since I was a child. I work as a designer. Great, in that case, don't wait too long. How about we have the wedding next week? Instantly, Jungkook and Yin exchanged glances. They were both tense, but this was their goal, right? Finally, Jungkook looked at his parents. Alright, I agreed to marry Yin next week. The wedding ceremony took place with all friends and family from both sides invited. It was a lively and grand celebration. Yin's friends were all amazed that she suddenly married a conglomerate. Jungkook's parents were so happy. They didn't care about the background of their daughter-in-law's family. For them, the important thing was that their son was happy. Yin's father? Of course, he was very happy to see his daughter able to capture a wealthy man. He never expected whether his daughter had some kind of magnet or something. He just truly did not expect that her daughter's destiny would come from the upper class like this. In essence, everyone was happy without knowing that Yin and Jungkook were actually in a contract marriage. After the grand wedding party ended, Yin and Jungkook were now in a luxurious hotel room with a large bed adorned with flower petals. Indeed, isn't that how newlyweds usually spend their sacred first night? However, it was different for Yin and Jungkook. Yin slept on the bed, and Jungkook slept on the sofa, as if trying to forget what happened earlier. They were simply exhausted and aimed to make their parents happy. So, their mission was accomplished, and they would only fulfill the remaining time of their contract. After that, they would be nothing to each other. Several days after the wedding, Yin felt tired and wanted some entertainment to lift her mood. So tonight, she decided to go to a bar for some dancing and drinks. There's no restriction against going to a bar, right? Well, as long as Yin doesn't engage romantically with other men. Now, Yin is inside the bar. She just entered and was about to approach the bartender to order a drink. However, suddenly, her hand was forcefully pulled by a man, causing her to stagger and eventually fall into the lap of this man. Yin winced as she inhaled the strong scent of alcohol. This man must be drunk. This is not good. So, she tried to free herself from the grip around her waist. However, due to the difference in strength, Yin failed. She began to feel panic until, suddenly, Yin's hand was pulled forcefully by someone, causing her to immediately break free from the clutches of the intoxicated man. The drunken man then stood up. Hey, how dare you? Guard, get rid of this man. Jungkook's command was promptly executed by the bouncers, dragging the drunk man out roughly. Meanwhile, Jungkook released his grip and stared sharply at Yin, hands on hips, jaw clenched. Yin looked frightened. What are you doing here, huh? Luckily, this bar is mine, and I saw you being pulled by that crazy man. I can't imagine what would have happened next. You're incredibly careless. My reputation could have been tarnished because you were seen with another man. Luckily, no one managed to take a photo. Veins on Jungkook's temples surfaced, a sign of his growing anger. Meanwhile, Yin simply lowered her head. I'm sorry, I just wanted to cheer myself up, so I came here. Don't you know that places like this are dangerous? Why didn't you call me to accompany you? I could have protected you. Aren't we just in a contractual marriage? I didn't want to bother you. And if anything had happened, wouldn't I be bothered too? Yes, that's because you're still my husband. Exactly, so you should know your role as my wife. Remember, don't be careless again. Now, come with me. Jungkook finally took her hand and led her to his private room in the club. He started examining documents on the table while Yin sat on the sofa, playing with her phone. Her plans for a night of fun had ultimately failed. One morning, Jungkook opened his eyes. Today, it seemed like he woke up earlier than usual. He heard someone making a loud phone call accompanied by a few chuckles. Jungkook got up and walked out of his room. Although Jungkook and Yin lived in the same house, they slept in separate rooms. This arrangement was unknown to anyone. Jungkook stepped out to find his wife on the phone. The conversation sounded sweet, resembling the tone of someone in a romantic relationship. He wasn't sure who Yin was talking to, but just hearing it made Jungkook feel irritated, for some reason. Approaching his wife, Jungkook took a seat on the sofa in front of her. Yin quickly ended the call, her face showing signs of nervousness. Who are you talking to? My friend. But she's a woman. Really? Yin nodded while Jungkook rolled his eyes, appearing somewhat disinterested. Listen, Yin, It's not like I'm genuinely jealous if you have someone else. But this concerns my reputation as a husband. People might think I can't take care of my wife properly, leading her to choose someone else. Don't worry, I won't do anything. You can check my phone. You're so possessive. I'm going to take a shower. Yin left her phone on the table, intentionally leaving it there, then stood up and headed to the bathroom. In her opinion, the man she entered into a contract marriage with was genuinely boring and stiff. He never even smiled at Yin. So cold. For several months, their contractual marriage has been ongoing. Despite appearing cold and annoying to others, Jungkook always takes the time to accompany Yin, whether it's shopping, strolling in the park to enjoy the fresh air, or trying out new foods at restaurants. Yes, their relationship may seem to be solely for mutual benefit, but unbeknownst to them, many memorable moments have been created during the span of their contractual marriage. Until one day when Yin fell ill. Yin appeared uneasy as she saw Jungkook about to feed her in her bedroom. At the moment, she was sick and weak, and she didn't feel like eating, but Jungkook insisted she eat a little. Jungkook, I can eat on my own. It would be a lie to say that Yin wasn't a bit flustered by his gentle and caring gestures. Initially uninterested in him, something peculiar had grown in her chest over time. Can you just be quiet? I know you're still weak, so let me feed you. Yin shouldn't be blushing. After all, they are just in a contractual marriage. There shouldn't be any feelings, right? This is an agreement, not a real marriage. Now, rest. I'll leave so you can sleep comfortably. I don't have work today, so don't worry. You're not alone here. Yin nodded and adjusted herself to sleep. She watched her husband walk out of the bedroom. Yin sighed. The conflict between her emotions and reasoning suddenly emerged. In her opinion, Jungkook delved too deeply into the role of a husband, attentive and responsible. Somehow, it made Yin very happy. However, realizing that they were only in a contractual marriage, Yin felt deeply saddened, knowing that someday they would part ways. It was already 2 a.m. Yin paced back and forth, busy making calls, but she had to settle for the operator's voice stating that the number she dialed was currently inactive. This was unlike Jungkook. If he came home late, he would always inform her. Technically, notifying each other was unnecessary, considering they were only pretending to be husband and wife. However, for some reason, Yin felt excessive anxiety and worry. What if Jungkook encountered something bad? Despite appearing stern and cold, Jungkook genuinely cared for and treated her well, creating a feeling in Yin, not wanting to lose him. Shortly after, their apartment door opened, revealing Jungkook stumbling in, but still able to stand. Jungkook, Yin? Yin immediately hugged her body, just to ensure he wouldn't fall. The scent of alcohol was evident, indicating that he came home late due to drinking. This is the first time in months that Yin has seen Jungkook this drunk. Why could Jungkook get so drunk like this? Yin immediately supported her husband, seated him, and leaned him on the sofa. Yin sighed heavily, observing her husband in disarray. Whatever was on his mind, he seemed incredibly stressed. Jungkook, tell me, what happened? Is there a problem at your company? Jungkook stayed silent, but now his eyes looked at her. They locked eyes for quite some time. His right hand slowly rose, caressing her left neck and moving up to her left cheek. Why are you so beautiful? Can you tone down your beauty a bit so you won't torment me every day? I never meant to torment you. What have I done? Huh? You pretend to be clueless? You always make me dizzy, make me worry. Can't you stop working outside and stay at home? Be a good wife. Stay at home, and wait for me. Cater to me when I desire you. I promise to give you everything. I guarantee you'll be happy living with me. You will never feel neglected by me. I won't let you be sad. Whatever you ask for, I'll give it to you. So please, stay with me. Forget that damn contract. Be my wife entirely forever. Give me your love. Why are you saying this? Do you love me? I've loved you for a long time. You're just foolish, never realizing even though I've shown my love to you. What if I refuse? What's your plan? Still want to separate after this contract? Are you serious? Yes. Maybe I should impregnate you, so you can't escape from me. Are you planning to force me? Jungkook just chuckled. Yes, I considered it, but I don't want you to hate me. So, let's do this willingly. Yin's eyes widened, her cheeks blushed, but she immediately shook her head firmly. No, you won't remember it. You're drunk right now. No. I'll remember this. I recognize myself. I know I'll remember all of this. Shortly after, he lifts his wife's limp body towards the master bedroom. Typically, Jungkook occupies that room while Yin stays in the guest room. However, from now on, you'll sleep here with me. Yin remained silent. She had exhausted all her strength to respond to his words. Tonight, Jungkook truly left her exhausted. After their bodies lay on the bed, Yin gently pulled his collar to bring his face closer to hers. I don't want you to forget about this when you wake up tomorrow. If you dare forget, I won't forgive you. Even though I'm drunk now, I'm conscious enough to remember what I did tonight." The next morning, Yin slowly opened her eyes, still trying to gather her consciousness. However, her eyes widened when she turned to the side and saw Jungkook already awake but still under the same blanket as hers. He lay facing her, his head propped up high with one arm, smiling as he looked at her. "Since when have you been awake?" "Just 5 minutes ago." "Alright, baby, I remember everything, and I don't want you to think I'll forget what we did last night." "Alright then. So, about that damn contract. Just extend the contract period." "Huh? What do you mean?" "Extend the time, not for just 1 year, but for a lifetime and forever." Jungkook smiled upon hearing what his wife said.